bring another brilliant speaker out here, which is Kolaya.
Well, hi. Am I chatting here with you all?
Oh, yeah, please, come.
Thank you.
Fuzzy green.
AstroTurf. This is good.
Yes, nice.
Hello.
Hiya.
Hi. How are you doing? Good, how are you? I'm doing very well. Are any of you all feeling a little bit jet lagged? Those of you who traveled far to be here? A little bit? Earlier today, I was chatting with some old friends and one new friend. A young woman introduced herself to me and asked a very simple question. She said, "Where are you from?" And I couldn't answer her because I'm on week 5 of a lot of traveling, lots of different time zones, and it just so happened that I was standing in a semicircle with my mentor from the YMCA, and the reason that I ever started doing youth work in the first place, from South Carolina, which is where I grew up. I was standing with, I think they're from South Carolina. I was standing with a former colleague of mine from Kentucky. I used to run the Youth and Government program there. And I had just left a conversation with a current colleague of mine from the YMCA in San Francisco, which is where I now live. So when this very lovely woman asked where I was from, I looked around and just stared blankly because I was tired and I couldn't think of the answer. And thankfully, my mentor in high school and always jumped in and said, "I can tell you. She's from South Carolina, but she works in Kentucky now. She lives in San Francisco and works for TED." And I was like, yeah, that's it. That's true. All of that is true. Let's go with that. And I have been so excited to be here. You all heard from Mia and Alex already, who are 2 incredible TED Ed speakers, and you will be hearing from a lot more of those folks. And the reason that I told that story about the jet lag is that it dawned on me that since I was a teenager, the YMCA has been an incredible force in my life, not just in helping me realize, one, that I had a voice. Before I participated in youth and government, I always had a voice, and if you asked my parents, they would say that I never had a problem using it. But through youth and government and leadership development programs at the Y, I discovered that I could use that voice to make change in my community. And then working for the Y, doing civic engagement and youth and government and leadership development, I discovered that I could use my professional life as a way to create space for people who maybe had not yet discovered that they had a voice and that their voice mattered. And now in the work that I do for TED, which in case you don't know is not a person, TED as in TED Talks. Anybody heard of TED Talks before? Okay. I'm glad, because it's very hard to explain if you haven't. There's people, they wear microphones, tent their fingers like this. The work that I do for TED now is all about discovering and developing the next generation of ideas worth spreading. So every day I get to work with young people around the world, not all young people, but that's my primary focus, to help develop their stories and share them from our platform. And as soon as I started working at TED, I went back to my dear friends at YUSA, who were so kind as to invite me to participate in the World Council of YMCAs in 2010. And during that conference, I was the youth delegate representative and gave a talk, because this was back in the day when the youth conference was separate from the World Council, and one of the things that we talked about was there needing to be more integration. And if this movement is all about elevating the stories of young people and amplifying their voices, then we needed to be doing that from main stage. So as soon as I started working at TED, I was knocking on the doors of YUSA and our friends at the World Alliance, and thankfully YMCA Europe and YMCA of England and Wales and all of the planning committee for this event said, yeah, you know what, we would like to elevate more youth voices. So throughout this entire event, you will hear from young people who my team at TED has been working with to help them develop their stories. And you'll get to hear from incredible young people who are doing remarkable work, not in some future time when they all of a sudden become leaders, but right now, because they are leading change in their movements locally and globally. So I feel really honored to be here and to still be connected to this organization that helped me decide the kind of person that I wanted to be, and now allows me to continue working with young people who are doing amazing work. So it's a very long answer to your question. I'm feeling good.
Right. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. My pleasure.
Another round of applause.
I'll be seeing you all tomorrow morning, nice and early.